to me, it's just quick math, yeah? That's all science is to me, and the people, it's what I love about doing these events. I see some familiar faces, people have come back, so I know there's people in here that have seen me break down science in a very simplified way. But I'm curious, because I do see some unfamiliar faces. Who's never been to a Hidden Science Academy event before? Show of hands. 14. Wow. Wow. For those people who have never been to a Hidden Science Academy event before, I've got one thing to say to you.
You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today.
So what are you gonna learn today?
So no matter me care. How can I hinder science? Science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Them is me enemy, and I go like my friend. But telling them the same thing, it can't work again. I tell it to me enemy, I tell it to me friend. How can I hinder science again? Science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. All entertainer, watch on yourself. All producer, watch on yourself. All street side seller, watch on yourself. All arcade seller, watch on yourself. Them the like how we are prosper, them prophecy disaster. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Them the like how we are prosper, them prophecy disaster. How can I wonder science again? Come science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Come science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Just wet up your stall when them throw them hope, yeah. Wet up your gate when them plant them hope, yeah. Spray out your car before you drive it no further. Tell it to me sister, tell it to me brother. This a serious thing, nobody take it for no laughter. Science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Them is me enemy, and I go like my friend. But till them the same thing, it can't work again. I tell it to me enemy, I tell it to me friend. How can I wonder science again? Oh, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Some go a 80, but a goods them go buy. But when they check it out, man, a science them a try. Some go a Clarendon, some go a Westmoreland. Them a travel up and down all over the land. After we are work so hard, we put money in we hand. Them a try to change up the father plan. So come science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again. Them is me enemy, and I go like my friend. But till them the same thing, it can't work again. I tell it to me enemy, I tell it to me friend. How can I wonder science again?
Absolutely fantastic, loved it. I've learned so much. It was humorous as well. So and the way the information was broken down was amazing. And I definitely will be coming back to more of the Hidden Science events because yeah, I learned so much, and I'm just so grateful to be able to be a part of it and experience it.
That's very good, very interesting, really good, very inspiring, and I would recommend it to anyone to come, and we will come back again, definitely.
Well, I thought the event was fantastic. I thought the delivery was fantastic, the presentation, the breaking down of complex ideas so that everybody could feel involved and can participate was exceptional, and the interaction with the video material was superb.
I was highly recommended.
Hidden Science, man. Hidden Science.
Science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. Hubakaba, hubakaba, science again, science again, science again. How can I wonder science again?
So, the more we start to study self, study our own history, the more we'll start to realize that gang culture or gang violence is not black culture. It is not black culture. And the more we start to study our own history, the more we'll truly gain knowledge of self. And when we gain knowledge of self, we'll naturally drop anything that doesn't pertain to self. We'll naturally drop anything that doesn't pertain to self. Like we'll be walking around and just drop it. And people will be like, excuse me, you dropped something. What did I drop? I think you dropped your culture. My culture? Yeah. Oh, wait, let me check. Hold on a second. Torture. gang violence, war, rape, pedophilia, cannibalism. No, this is your culture, right? I picked it up by mistake. Take it back.
Yes. Greetings, family. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Large out the people in the chat. So many people in the chat already. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this very powerful presentation entitled The Hidden Science of Nutrition. For those that don't know, my name is Leon Marshall. I'm going to be the host for tonight, but I'm going to be joined later by a very special guest, and he goes by the name of Raw Food Disciple. Yeah, large up the family in the chat, man. So many people in the chat. Let me know where you're tuned in from, by the way. Let me know where you're tuned in from. I was looking at the chat. I swear I saw Canada. Is Canada in the building? Birmingham, Lorraine, large up sis. Greetings. Large up the family. Ipswich in the building. London representing Enfield. Luton, Hungary. Brooklyn. Big up Monica. Brooklyn's in the building. Ipswich, Toronto, Fulton Heath, Sheffield, Lewisham, Ireland in the building, Belgium, Crystal Palace, wow, Greenwich, Peckham, a lot of South London people in the building, yeah, Nottingham, someone said Japan, is Japan in the building as well, yeah? All right, this is absolutely amazing. Big up the global family, big up everyone who's tuned in right now from all over the globe. They're still coming in thick and fast. Bromley, France is in the building, Florida. We've got people from all over the world tuned in right now. By the way, if this is your first time watching the Hidden Science Academy webinar, my name is Leon Marshall, and I use my 2 laptops. So if you see me looking over to the side, I'm just looking at you guys' comments. So I'm just looking at where you guys are coming in from: UK, Essex, St. Lucia in the building. This tonight, Iceland in the building. It's going to be a very powerful tonight. A very powerful night tonight, family. Who else is there? Highgate, I see. Manchester as well. All right, and I can see people still coming in as well. West London, the numbers are still slowly rising. Now, just before we continue, there is a Vimeo link, and I'm gonna have to try and send that to my sister at a break. Oxford in the building as well, just in case people have issues getting in. Hopefully no one should have an issue getting into this webinar, but just in case there is an issue, we've sorted out a Vimeo link as well, and I'm going to try and share that a little later with the family. But before we continue, let me just tell you what we've got coming up, or let me just tell you how tonight's going to go. A little bit more volume. All right, someone said a little bit more volume. How am I sounding, family? You guys got to hear me tonight. How am I sounding? Let me know if I'm sounding good. Put some ones in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Put some ones in the chat if I'm sounding very good and clear. Nice. Thank you, family. All the ones in the chat. Yeah? More volume. You guys want? Well, I'm seeing a lot of ones, so people can hear me. Sound is good and clear. So you guys who are saying turn up the volume, that's going to be on your side. You're going to have to turn up your laptop or phone or whatever you're listening to this on. Yeah? Some people saying more volume. I've turned mine all the way up. Hold on. 111. All right, I've turned mine all the way up now. Yeah? So large amount of people put in ones. Listen, it's a new year. This is the first webinar that the Hidden Science Academy are doing for this year. So happy new year for those who celebrate it, and happy 2022 for those who don't. Now, put some ones in the chat if you're just happy for a new year. Put some ones in the chat if you're just ready for some powerful knowledge tonight. Who's ready for some powerful knowledge tonight? Just put some ones in the chat. I'm super excited about what we're going to be sharing tonight, boy. Look at all the ones coming in. I'm super excited about what we're going to be sharing, because I truly believe that what we're going to be sharing tonight has never been shared before. Yeah. Large up everyone putting ones. So everyone's so excited for tonight. Yes, yes, yes. Powerful knowledge we're going to be sharing tonight. And let me just tell you how tonight's going to go. So I'm going to start. I'm going to talk about acids and alkaline. Just very short presentation. Just, I want to clear up that confusion with regards to acid and alkaline. And then I'm going to hand it over to my brother, raw food disciple, and he's going to be breaking down some serious information. And this brother's been on raw food for 12 years. So he's been eating raw for 12 years. So this is someone that we all need to know and all need to listen to, yeah? So I'm going to introduce him later. But like I said, I am going to start. Large up the Caribbean in the building. Large up everyone from the Caribbean. I saw St. Lucia and maybe Barbados in the building as well. I see Chelsea in the building. But first, let me start, family, before I hand it over to the raw food disciple. So I'm going to go through my presentation. And as I'm going through my presentation, for those of you who do know, I still don't understand why that box is there, but I'm going to try and remove that box at the top. But as I'm going through my presentation, family, I'm going to ask you guys questions. I want you guys to interact whilst I'm going through. So I'm going to be looking at the chat and seeing what you guys are saying with regards to this information. But yeah, for those who don't know, my name is Leon Marshall. I'm a sports science lecturer and the co-founder of the Hidden Science Academy. I run the Hidden Science Academy with my sister, Vanika Marshall. This is her here. Vanika Marshall is a best-selling author of 2 books. One is the Black British History, and she co-wrote this book with Robin Walker, the Black History Man, and 2 other authors. So you know that's a powerful book. And my sister's in the chat. She'll be sharing links throughout, and she'll be sharing links of her books as well, so you guys can go purchase them. But I know a lot of the people who follow the Hidden Science Academy, a lot of you have this book already, so big up. Very powerful book, and that is my sister. We both run the Hidden Science Academy. And for those that don't know, the Hidden Science Academy is an education provider, and we put on courses, lectures, webinars, events, weekenders, and soon, family, we're going to be doing retreats as well. And we just teach science, but we teach it from a knowledge of self point of view, because every time we're taught science like it's separate from self. That's not how we teach science at the Hidden Science Academy. We teach it like you are science. We're teaching it like you have to learn about yourself, the science of self. And, you know, because when we put on events, they get very well attended. It's because, you know, people want to know the truth about themselves. They want to know the truth about biology and chemistry and physics and nutrition and all of this stuff. So we put on these types of events, and they're always very well attended. And we'll cover subjects like ancient Kemet. We'll cover subjects like Black music, and we'll cover subjects like Black holistic health as well. Everything with regards to health. And speaking of Black holistic health, we deliver an exclusive online e-learning course as part of our VIP membership, an e-learning course. So you can go online, become a member, and work through the course, an e-learning course in your own time, the Hidden Science of Black holistic health. And I know a lot of family who are watching right now, you've done the course. So this is just for anyone who wants to learn about themselves from a Black perspective, because when it comes to the health and science of Black people, for whatever reason, everyone gets confused. Everyone, you know, no one knows what's going on. That's why in the news, pretty much every month, you'll hear Black people are more likely to, and then ... And then you ask them, the medics or whoever put out the story, why are Black people more likely to die from this? Or why are Black women more likely to die from childbirth? And everyone throws up their hands like, I don't know. Yeah. So we need to start understanding science and ourselves from a Black perspective. And we have got some free webinars coming up. So the Hidden Science of Mindfulness, this is coming up soon, family. This is this Saturday. So my sister will post the link to that one so you guys can sign up to that one. And large up Jamie King in the building. Says course is recommended. Thank you very much, King. But yes, let's start tonight. So as this presentation, again, I'm going to do a very short presentation before I hand it over to the raw food disciple. So as this presentation will focus heavily on the science of nutrition, it makes sense to start with a definition of science that is easy to understand. So here is my personal definition. Science is logic backed up by evidence. Now, this is just my personal definition. To me, science is nothing but logic, which I think is just common sense. And then you back up your common sense with proof. So for example, if I was to ask you what's 2 + 2, I'm hoping that your common sense would say 4. Or if I said, prove it, can you prove that 2 + 2 = 4? The easiest way to prove it is to put two fingers on one hand, two fingers on the other, and then count them out loud. And there's your proof. Now, when I go with my own definition of science, I start to realize that science is simple. If you just go by that definition, logic backed up by evidence, you'll start to realize that science is simple. Yeah. And the reason why I like to keep things super simple is because a wise man once said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. That was arguably one of the greatest scientists of all time, Albert Einstein. So if he can keep it simple, why can't we? So throughout tonight, family, throughout tonight's presentation, I am going to keep things super, super simple. Because to me, science is just, it's just 2 + 2. Or, as another wise man once said,
Boom! 2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
Quick maths. That's all science is to me, quick maths. Now, I know that some people, obviously, I see the family in the chat. Big up Charles in the chat, I see you. There's a lot of people that are watching this that have seen me break down science in a very simplified way. But it is a new year, and it is a very new webinar, first webinar of the new year. So who knows? I'm curious. Are there any first timers with us today? Is there anyone that's on the chat or in the chat or on this webinar that this is their first Hidden Science Academy webinar? If this is your first Hidden Science Academy webinar, put a 1 in the chat. Some ones in the chat. I can see some ones going in. This is your first Hidden Science Academy webinar. Seeing a lot of ones in the chat. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Quite a few people joining us for the first time. Quite a few ones. All right. Wow, quite a few of you. That's amazing. I love seeing the new people join up. Welcome. All right. For all the people that are putting 1s in the chat, I have one thing to say to you.
You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today.
So what are you gonna learn today? This is what I'm gonna go through today, or this is what myself and the Raw Food Disciple will go through. They're gonna learn about acids and alkaline foods. Now I'm gonna break that down. Now I wanna end all of the confusion with regards to acids and alkaline foods, yeah? So I'm gonna go through that tonight. Hopefully by the end of tonight, family, there's no more confusion with regards to acid and alkaline foods. And I'm going to talk about aromatic amino acids as well. And the brother Raw Food Disciple, he'll talk about electric foods, best antiviral foods, and even foods for melanin, plus much more. No typo. All right, so let's get started. Now, because if we're being honest, a lot of us know about acids and alkaline because of Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi used to always talk about, we need to be on an alkaline diet, electric foods and that sort of stuff. So here's a very rare clip of him talking about why we need to be consuming electric foods. Listen to this clip.
Electrical, how does that come in with our understanding? Are we electrical people? If I want to change, and many people out here want to change how they're living against nature and become in balance with nature, what would we do?
Electric food, you ask if we are electrical. If we were not electrical, if we weren't electrical, we would not be able to move. Just by the movement of our heart, the palpitation of the heart, which is 6,000 pounds per square inch pressure, it pushes it again. What moves the heart? There could be no movement unless that movement is electrical. So the food should be electrical, which is nutrition.
All right, so did we get that, family? He said that there's no way we can move without electricity. So the body must be electric because there's no way the body can move without it being electrical. So he said the food must be electrical, yeah? All right, now in order to understand that, you need to understand electricity. So Dr. Sebi was famous for saying that the body is electric, yeah? Now, if the body is electric, then the obvious question is, what is electricity? So we need to break down what electricity is. Now, I've seen a lot of people break down what electricity is, and large up Raw Food Disciple in the building as well. I'm going to introduce him a little bit later. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people break down, you know, electricity and electromagnetism and that sort of stuff. But again, me, I like to keep things super simple to the point where your children could watch this and understand it. Yeah. So here's the way I break down electricity. Just think about it like a battery. Literally, think about it like a battery, because we all understand how batteries work. We all understand how batteries work. Yeah. And if you were to put a battery into an electric circuit, you understand that there has to be a positive end and a negative end. So if we put this battery into an electric circuit, it might look like this. So there's the positive end and the negative end, yeah? And it's showing you that the electrons are flowing through from the battery through the electric circuit. And because the electric circuit has a light bulb on it, it lights up the light bulb. So when it's off, there's no flow of electrons. And when it's on, you guys can all see the flow of electrons. So for the people that want to start taking notes, here's the first note. Electricity is the flow of electrons. And again, remember, your body is electric. So this is an analogy to how your body works. Electricity is the flow of electrons. Now, remember at the start, I said that every time I'm doing these presentations, I want some interaction. I want feedback. So I want to make it very interactive. So family, for the people that can see their screen, yeah, you see you've got a positive and negative end. Now, just help me out here. Can you see the flow of electrons is flowing in one direction? Now put in the chat which direction it's flowing in. Do the electrons flow from positive to negative, or do the electrons flow from negative to positive? Put some answers in the chat. Everyone just looking at this diagram, is the electrons flowing from positive to negative, or are they flowing from negative to positive? See, I'm seeing both. Some people are saying positive to negative. Some people are saying negative to positive. So we really need to look at this picture. The arrow is literally showing you the direction. I'm getting both. People are saying, this is why we're so confused about nutrition. The arrow is showing you which way it's pointing. Is it pointing from, are the electrons flowing from positive to negative or negative to positive? I'm seeing more positives to negatives. Okay, look at the arrow. And remember, it's from the battery. Maybe I didn't make myself clear. From the battery, which way are the electrons flowing? From the battery. Okay, maybe it was my mistake. Maybe I didn't make myself clear. So from the battery, which way are the electrons flowing? Okay, now everyone's putting the right answer. Okay, everyone's putting the right answer now. Okay, all right. So from the battery, because remember, it's the battery that's the analogy. The battery is the analogy. Everyone's putting the right answer now. So the answer is from negative to positive. Electrons flow from negative to positive. So if anyone's taking notes, that's the second note to make. Electrons flow from negative to positive. So the first note was, what is electricity? Electricity is the flow of electrons. Very simple. And then electrons flow from negative to positive. Okay, someone said they can't see. Everyone can see. It might be on your laptop or phone, sis, but there is a diagram. There is like a animated GIF that we're showing right now, and it's showing a battery and the electrons flowing from negative to positive. Now, why did I show that? Because your cells are like batteries. Understand that your cells are like batteries. Now, if your cells are like batteries, guess what your cells need? They need a negative and positive end. So just like a battery, your cells need negative and positive electrical charges. Now, just so I'm not losing anyone, can everyone put a 1 in the chat, just if that makes sense to you? If your cells are like batteries, your cells need negative and positive. All right, so everyone understands your cells need negative and positive. All right, negative charge and positive charge. Thank you, family. Everyone's putting 1s in the chat. Thank you. All right, so if that makes sense, and you start to look at your body that's made up of these cells, which are batteries, electrical batteries, then you need to understand that this happens in your body. It doesn't happen with batteries as such, it happens with atoms. So this is how atoms are passing electrons from atom to atom. This is how electricity flows in your body. From atom to atom, you've got the negative charge flowing towards the positive charge, yeah? From atom to atom. And what is an atom? Atom is the smallest unit of matter. Atoms combine together to form molecules. Atoms are made of subatomic particles, protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons carry a positive charge, and the electron is the negative charge. So there's your positive and negative in your atom. And the atom that is shown is a carbon atom, and the carbon atom has 6 electrons. You see the electrons on the outside, they have the negative charge. 6 protons, the protons are in the middle, they have the positive charge, and then neutrons as well. Neutrons are neither positive nor negative, they're neutral, hence neutrons, yeah? So we need the positive and the negative. Now, if that makes sense, family, if you understand this, that this is how your body works, the electrons flow from atom to atom, negative to positive, then guess what? You now understand acids and alkaline. You now understand the pH scale. Because all you need to understand from this pH scale, again, most people know that, 7 is neutral, and the pH scale is basically a scale that's going to break down or tell you how acidic or alkaline a solution is. 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 is acidic or acid, and anything above 7 is alkaline. All you need to understand is that anything below 7 is a positive charge, and anything above 7 is a negative charge. So, and the way it works, if you go up the scale, so if you go from 7 to 8, 8 is 10 times more alkaline than 7. And that means 9 is 10 times more alkaline than 8. So the more you go up the scale from 7 to 14, it gets much more alkaline. And same going downwards. So you go from 7 to 6 and 6 to 5. 5 is 10 times more acidic than 6, and it keeps on getting more acid. So if you understand the battery analogy, just apply it to this. Acids carry more of a positive charge. Alkaline carry more of a negative charge. I hope that makes sense. So if that makes sense, then I have a question. Are acids bad? Because all we hear from people who talk about nutrition is, oh, we need to be on an alkaline diet. It's all about alkaline. It's all about alkaline, alkaline, alkaline. Avoid acids, avoid acids. Acids are bad, acids are bad, acids are bad. But in order for a battery to work, it needs a positive and a negative end. So in order for electrons to flow through you, it needs acid and alkaline, yeah? Are all acids bad? Well, let's investigate. So here's the pH scale, and it's giving you some examples of what's in alignment with the pH. So 0 is battery or a battery acid, extremely acidic, yeah? And then you've got, look at number 1, stomach acid. Stomach acid, is stomach acid bad? Without stomach acid, you wouldn't be able to digest any food. And look at number 2, lemons. What type of acid do lemons have? Anyone in the chat, what type of acids do lemons have? They have citric acid, okay, and that is very powerful. So are lemons bad? Now there are obviously some bad acids, fizzy drinks. You see coffee on there, and cow's milk and some other stuff that causes acidity and causes inflammation that we need to be aware of. But if we understand that the pH scale is just telling us what's more of a positive charge and what's more of a negative charge, then hopefully that makes sense. We need acid and alkaline. However, we need to be aware of what acids we're consuming. Now, if you go on the alkaline side, it's got blood there, but it's got blood above 8. Your blood doesn't want to be 8 on the pH scale. 8 is actually too high. So whoever made this, they kind of got the blood wrong. Blood doesn't want to be 8 because 8 is extremely alkaline. Your blood wants to be around 7.3 to 7.4. The actual number is 7.365, which I love because talk about divine intelligence. Your blood wants to be 7.365. In other words, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, your blood just wants to be balanced. literally just slightly over alkaline, yeah? And then you've got some other alkaline things there. You've got stomach tablets. So anyone that's suffering from, you know, what's it called? The reflux, they'll give you the stomach tablets, which are antacids. They neutralize acids, the acids in your stomach. Then you got ammonia. Is that good? Because remember, if we go by what we hear, it's all about alkaline, 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 and acids are bad. But look at the alkaline side. Look at bleach. Bleach is 13 on the pH scale. Do you know how alkaline that is? That is extremely, extremely alkaline. So if we go by the narrative that alkaline is good and acid is bad, shall we all just drink bleach? Because if we all drank bleach, we'd be extremely alkaline, but we'd all be extremely dead as well. So understand that. It's not that all alkaline is good and all acids are bad. We need to understand the pH scale. But obviously, there are some acids that we need to be aware of. So here's a list. That box at the top is just blocking off what it says at the top. At the top on the left, it says acid forming foods. And on the top, on the right, it says alkaline forming foods. So we need to avoid these acid forming foods, which are the ones that we're all aware of, which are, you know, junk food, crisps, biscuits, sugar, alcohol, fizzy drinks, white bread, white pasta, white noodles, all that sort of stuff. That's going to cause acidity and inflammation in your body and type 2 diabetes and all the stuff that a lot of people suffer from. And we want to consume alkaline forming foods. Now look at the alkaline list. Look at the alkaline list and you'll find that they're all from plants, basically. The alkaline list is all from plants, but look near the bottom. You see that lemons and limes, and Mohammed just pointed it out, grapefruits are acidic. Yes, grapefruits have citric acid in them, but they're on the alkaline side. How does that make sense? Well, here's how your body works. Even though lemons and limes and grapefruits have citric acid, when your body digests these plants, these foods, these fruits, and assimilates them, it has an alkalizing effect on your body. It has an alkalizing effect, yeah? So that's why lemons, limes, and grapefruits are actually on the alkaline side. They're alkaline forming, even though they're quote unquote acidic, yeah? Now, I hope this is making sense. So hopefully after tonight, no one keeps on following the acids are bad and alkaline is good narrative, because that doesn't make sense. So if we think about it, again, looking at the list, we should be consuming foods that are on the alkaline side because they all come from plants, including acids like lemons, limes, and grapefruits. So what type of acids do we need? We need plant acids. Sometimes they call them organic acids, yeah? And why do we need plant acids? Well, look at the molecular structure of a plant cell and compare it to a red blood cell. Notice how similar they are. Look how similar they are. The only difference really between a plant cell and a red blood cell is the core element. In your blood, it's Fe. Someone tell me what Fe is. In your blood, it's Fe. And then in a plant cell, it's Mg, the core mineral. So that's the only difference between a plant cell and the red blood cell. So yeah, Fe is iron. And what's Mg? And Mg is magnesium. Large up Leah in the chat, I see you, sis. So we got iron and magnesium. That's really the only difference between your blood and a plant cell. So this is where we need to be getting our nutrition from, our acids. If we are going to consume acids, we need to be getting them from plants, because look at how similar our molecular structure is. And even the way we produce energy is similar. So in the plants, they do photosynthesis, yeah? And remember, go back to my analogy of the battery in the circuit. The circuit is the flow of electrons. Well, in photosynthesis, that circuit is called the Calvin cycle. Think cycle, circuit, same thing, yeah? So the Calvin cycle is the electric circuit where electrons flow through it. And that's what produces energy for the plant, yeah? That's what produces the glucose and the oxygen for the plant. guess what happens in your cells? Your cells have a circuit as well. The circuit is called the Krebs cycle. Again, think cycle, circuit, same thing. Krebs cycle. So electrons flow through this Krebs cycle circuit, and that's what produces energy in your cells. So it's all to do with the two circuits, the different types of circuits. Now, here's the thing with science, yeah? A lot of people in the past, when they found something out, when they discovered something, they'll put their name on it. So the Calvin cycle is named after some person named Calvin, who quote unquote discovered it. The Krebs cycle is named after some person named Krebs, who quote unquote discovered it, yeah? But I'm curious, does anyone know the original name of the Krebs cycle? Remember, this Krebs cycle is how your cells produce energy. Does anyone know the original name of the Krebs cycle? Let's see if there's any science people in the chat. Anyone know the original name or even the scientific term? No one. Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a secret here now. The original name, not quite sis, the original name of the Krebs cycle was, big up Mohammed, the citric acid cycle. Big up Leah, the citric acid cycle. So you're telling me that our body metabolism, the way we metabolize whatever we eat, it gets broken down and those electrons pass through a citric acid cycle in our body. And that's what produces energy in our cells. And again, where do you get citric acid from? There's only one place you get citric acid from: plants. So the way every single person's body produces energy is through a plant acid cycle. Just gonna let that one sink in for 2 seconds. The way your cells produce energy is through a plant acid cycle. So are acids bad? Well, let's see how important acids are. You have stomach acid. Without that stomach acid, your body wouldn't be able to digest any of the alkaline foods that you're eating. So the hydrochloric acid in your stomach is extremely important. You have a citric acid cycle. That's how your body produces energy. That's how every single one of your cells produces energy, through the Krebs cycle. You have essential fatty acids. Now your body, when your body's breaking down fats, it breaks it down to fatty acids, but we need to be consuming essential fatty acids as well. Now, I know there's some people that have done my Black Holistic Health course. What essential fatty acids do we need? Let's see if anyone can remember from the Black Holistic Health course. Starts with an O. There's 2. O. What essential fatty acids? Big up Mish and big up Karen. Yeah, large up the Black Holistic Health crew. Omegas. You need omega-3 and omega-6, and omega-3 in particular, because omega-3 is anti-inflammatory. Omega-3 and omega-6. So we need our essential fatty acids. So our acids bad, because that's going to help with our inflammation. Folic acid. Women should know the importance of folic acid. Development of red blood cells, very important during pregnancy and that sort of stuff. So our acids bad because women need folic acid, yeah? And amino acids. Amino acid. Your muscles are made from amino acids. So we're literally made of acids. And what else? What else can I talk about? DNA as well. DNA as well. Anyone know what DNA stands for? DNA stands for, what does it D? Deoxyribonucleic. Someone help me out. What is the acid? I just gave it away. What does the A stand for? Acid. All right. So deoxyribonucleic acid. All right. So we are made of acids. Our genetic structure is acid. So if acids are bad, you're bad because you're made of acids. I hope that makes sense. And speaking of amino acids, this is how your body produces proteins. It makes its own proteins from amino acids. So we don't necessarily need protein. We need amino acids because your body takes those amino acids, creates peptides, and then folds up proteins. And if we think about the amino acids, this is, according to the science, these are the known amino acids. There's probably more, but these are the ones that they always talk about. 8 essential, 12 non-essential, and there's I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's a very important one right at the end there. I've highlighted tyrosine, and I'm going to tell you why in just a sec. I've highlighted tyrosine, but this is what your body needs: aromatic amino acids. Now, if you haven't done the Black Holistic Health course, or this is your first time watching the Hidden Science Academy webinar, let me introduce you to aromatic amino acids. These are amino acids that include an aromatic ring. The three main aromatic amino acids are phenylalanine, tryptophan, and tyrosine. And look at the end there, it says to different degrees, all aromatic amino acids absorb ultraviolet light. So we need aromatic amino acids, and it will help us with sunlight. There's a lot of black people or dark-skinned people walking around talking about, oh, I got burnt, or oh, I can't take the sun. You might be lacking in aromatic amino acids. And why tyrosine? Why is tyrosine so important? It blocks it there, but right at the top there, this is the melanin chemical pathway. And right at the top is tyrosine. You can't see it there because it's blocking that box is blocking it. But right at the top is tyrosine, and then tyrosine gets converted to dopa, and then dopa gets converted to dopaquinone. And then from there, depending on your genetic structure and depending on the presence of cysteine, your body either produces eumelanin or pheomelanin. And those who follow the Hidden Science Academy, you know the difference between eumelanin and pheomelanin. Eumelanin comes in black and brown, and pheomelanin comes in red and yellow. So yes, everyone has melanin. Every single human being on this planet has melanin. It's just which type, eumelanin or pheomelanin. But whichever one it is, both of them rely on tyrosine, which is an aromatic amino acid. Both of them rely on tyrosine. So your body needs aromatic amino acids, yeah? So we need acids. Then we just need to understand what type of acids. So natural sources of acids. Again, they have to come from plants. Plant acids. So what sources of acids could I show you? Now, some of these you'll already know. We're all familiar with citric acid, but some of us should be familiar with ascorbic acid as well. Yeah. Now, this might be a good thing to take a screenshot of. Now, there will be a replay of this, so don't worry about if I move on and you haven't wrote these all down, but it might be a good screenshot for people who like to take notes. But these are the types of acid. Acetic acid, you'll find that in apple cider vinegar. A lot of people rave about apple cider vinegar. It's very acidic because it has that type of acid in it. And obviously, it's all about balance. So too much acid is going to be dangerous. But I'm just showing you the different types of acid. You've got citric acid, you know that's in your lemons, your limes, your grapefruits, your oranges. You've got tartaric acid, that's in grapes. Ascorbic acid in all of your citrus fruits. And then it's got lactic acid. You don't want to be consuming that because your body creates lactic acid. So you don't want to be consuming lactic acid. And then malic acid, which is good. For the people that done the liver flush with the Hidden Science Academy last year, we talked about the benefits of malic acid in apples. Yeah. So these are the acids that your body should be consuming. All right. Hopefully that makes sense to the family. But check this out. Did anyone see this? This came out in the news last week. There was a study that showed that cannabis compounds block coronavirus. Anyone see this study? So the study said that cannabinoids block coronavirus from entering human cells. Now they call me the scientist, so I like to investigate things. When I saw this study, I had to read up about it and see what are these cannabis compounds. So when you check out this article or check out the study, it talks about cannabinoids or cannabis compounds found in cannabis that actually block coronavirus. And when you read up on it, it says new research suggests that hemp compounds, hemp, cannabis, same thing. New research suggests that hemp compounds, and then there's the compound. It tells you what the compound is. Cannabigerolic acid, CBGA for short, or cannabidiolic acid, CBDA for short. Yeah. So those are the compounds, cannabigerolic acid or cannabidiolic acid. Yeah. They bind to the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein and block it from infecting human cells and spreading coronavirus and its variants. So when they say cannabis compounds, they're talking about cannabis acids. They're talking about plant acids. So let's get this straight. Plant acids, because that's what cannabis is, it's a plant family. Plant acids block coronavirus. Now, I actually talked about this in one of my pod classes. For those that don't know, I do a podcast. It's called Marshall's Melanin Podcast. My sister, if you can drop the link in the chat so people can sign up if they haven't signed up before. But I do this on the first of each and every month, and I break down melanin. I do it like a class, so I'm teaching people about melanin. And I talked about cannabinoids, I think about 2 classes ago. If anyone's got that podcast, drop it in the chat so people can check that out. If you go to the hiddenscienceacademy.com/podcast, you can check out all of the previous ones and download them as well. I actually talked about it last year, and now the stories are coming out talking about cannabinoids block coronavirus. Look at that, yeah? So yeah, if my sister can post a chat to that, post the link to that so people can sign up to the pod class, that would be great. So let's go back to this, family. I'm finishing up now, very short presentation. If we understand that the battery is like our cells, and in a battery, you have a positive end and a negative end, and electricity is the flow of electrons. I was about to give you the answer, but you guys tell me, remind me, do electrons flow from positive to negative, or do electrons flow from negative to positive? You guys remind me. Is it positive to negative or negative to positive? All right, now everyone's putting the right answer. But there you go. When we did it earlier, they're wrong answers, but everyone's putting the right answer. Negative to positive. All right. Now, let's see if people, let's test people's memory. Which side did I say was acid and which side did I say was alkaline? So which side is the positive and which side is the negative? Let's start with acids. Would the acid side be positive or negative? Acid would be, thank you, negative is alkaline. So acid would be positive. So now, here's the easiest way to understand acids and alkaline. Acids accept electrons. That's all you need to know. Acids accept electrons because they have the positive charge. So looking back at the battery, they have to accept the negative charge. And if you look at the battery, remember the flow of electrons is going from negative to positive. So it's like the alkaline side is donating. So acid accepts electrons and donate protons, and alkaline donate electrons and accept protons. But you don't even need to understand the proton part because we're just talking about electricity. Alkaline donate electrons, acids accept electrons. And that is the reason why your body is made of acids. Your body is an acid structure that runs on electrons. Now, if your body is an acid structure, it has more of the positive charge. Guess what you need to eat? You need to eat more of the negative charge, which is the alkaline diet. Now, I hope that makes sense because again, if we just follow what Dr. Sebi said, and he said alkaline is good and acids are bad, we can get confused. But hopefully after you understand that now, like a battery, you need acid and alkaline. You need both in order for electrons to flow, yeah? All right. That's the end of my presentation, family. Again, I kept it short and sweet and just broke down acids and alkaline and amino acids and aromatic amino acids. So before I introduce and large out the people putting ones in the chat, thank you. If this is your first time joining us, we put ones in the chat just to show appreciation, to show our love and that, like one love, one frequency, one family, one unity. But before I introduce the special guest, I just want to ask, is there any question before I introduce the special guest? So let me go to the chat and see if there's any questions. Large up the family. Welcome. There's a lot of people that's joined us since the beginning. Thank you, family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I am now going to introduce the raw food disciple. Like I said at the beginning, he has been a raw foodist or someone been on raw food for 12 years now. Yeah. So without further ado, we're going to introduce the main speaker. Yeah. And again, after he finishes, we'll have another Q&A as well, family. And by the way, if you guys stay right to the end, I've got a big announcement that I want to make right to the end. So if you guys want to stay right to the end, also myself and the Raw Food Disciple, we'd like to let you know what we've got coming up. If you stay right to the end,
I looked at you. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I looked at you, but yeah, you was looking at this.
All right. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my brother, the Raw Food Disciple, Daniel Thomas. Everyone, show some appreciation. Put some ones in the chat for Daniel. Yes, brother. How you feeling, bro?
Love, my bro. Love. I love the presentation as well, brother. I never want to talk about what I got to talk about. I want to talk about what you were talking.
You can bring it into what you're talking about, bro. You can bring it into
it's exactly that. It's exactly that. But yeah, give thanks, bro. Give thanks for the opportunity to be here as well.
Large up, bro. So over to you, my bro.
Okay. It's actually a pleasure to be here, bro. Serious. When I hear you speak, because again, before actually jumping into the retreat, I hadn't had much exposure to the scientist. And I said, when I came to the retreat, I felt at home. Again, being here, just listening to you, what you do is home. So I'm going to jump into what I've got to speak about.
For the people that don't know what he's talking about, we did a wellness weekender at the end of last year. And by the way, family, stay right to the end because I've got some information on our next one. So just stay right to the end. So much to tell you about. But yeah, we did a wellness weekender. Large at the people who are on it. I know that it came out very quickly. So a lot of people are waiting to find out when our next one is. I'm going to announce it at the end of this webinar. So stay right to the end to learn about that. But brother, over to you, bro.
I can't wait to hear that. So yeah, bro, I'm just going to quickly touch on a couple of things before I get into what I've got to speak about, which is the electric foods explained, foods for melanin, and one more thing. I've got a little presentation here. But what you said about acid versus alkaline is very important because a lot of the vitamins that we actually take in, they come under the acidic scope. So we definitely have to have a different comprehension today about what acid and alkaline food is. The most important part that I really want to touch on is when you showed the chart and you actually said alkaline forming foods and acidic forming foods, because this is what we have to understand. And this is what we're going to get into. It is all about chemistry. So, and you brought that down, but it's all about chemistry. So I'm going to say a few things that people might blow people's brains today. But again, it's going to come through even my presentation, but it is all about the chemistry. So alkaline forming food or acidic forming food, when we are talking about processed foods versus plant-based foods and also meat-based foods, those have different effects on, as you said, the metabolism. And it's quite interesting, but I'm not going to say anything too much now, but they have different effects on the metabolism, how body converts food into energy, because that's what the metabolism does. It converts food into energy. But there's a way in which it does it. We call it digestion. It's not just digestion. And I like the way that you use the word assimilation over absorption as well, because our body has to assimilate with what is being broken down within it. The absorption part of actually digestion is actually when we swallow food, chew food, swallow it. That technically is actually the absorption part. And the alkaline forming or even the acidic forming part is actually to do with our saliva. It's called salivary amylase. So again, when you see food, when you smell food, like you said, aromatic amino acids, already that process of digestion or metabolization is kicking into high gear, because you start to salivate. And it's those salivary fluids that mix with the food or the drink that you're consuming is what actually aids the digestive process, but the chemical reaction process related to the forming of acidic waste, and it's called metabolic waste because it's your metabolism. So it's acidic waste or alkaline waste, ash is called, which actually comes to rest in your blood. So it's very interesting what you said. Am I able to share my screen?
Yes, King. So you should be able to share your screen, the share button there, and then if your presentation is open on your desktop, you should be able to see it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Let me just open this up quickly for y'all. So again, you're at the Hidden Science Academy, and this is Raw Food Nutrition, quickly with the Raw Food Disciple. And just a couple of things I think that we should cover in relation to what the brother said, and it is about keeping things simple. So when we talk about atoms and molecules and plant food, plant nutrition, we're actually talking about the organic compounds. And again, we're talking about chemistry. So an organic compound is generally any chemical compound that contains a carbon-hydrogen bond. So something that's fused together. And an example of this would be carbohydrates, fats, which are known as lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. Now, if we were listening to the brother, those nucleic acids, that relates to the DNA. Yeah. And these are, those four are all the basis for the molecules of life. And they're actually called the 4 molecules of life. So the 4 molecules of life are proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. And with each one being vital to every living organism on the planet, not just within our bodies. Now, those organic compounds are also referred to as polyphenols or polysaccharides. So again, just to make things simple, you might hear people talking about micronutrients or macronutrients. Well, a polyphenol is a micronutrient. So when you hear micronutrients, you know that they're talking about polyphenols. And that's what you're getting from your micronutrient. So these micronutrients, they are naturally occurring in the plants. And in that way, they're easy to retrieve from our food. So it's easy to get micronutrients from the right sources of our food. With polysaccharides or polycarbohydrates, these are the most abundant carbohydrate that is actually found in food. And as such, they can be termed a macronutrient or one of, because there are a source of macronutrients. There are a few macronutrients. Now, I'm just going to quickly run through a few amino acid things, just because you covered it so well. I just wanted to back up what you were saying. So again, amino acids and the organic compounds are recognized as the 4 molecules of life and the building blocks of life. So we have to be having this type of food to ensure efficient, optimal function of the body, the human body. So the elements that are actually present in every amino acid is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. With addition to this, you could have sulfur, which is present in the side chains of cysteine and methionine, which are amino acids, if you saw Brother Leon's list, and selenium, which is also present in a less common amino acid, which is selenocysteine, which is a combination of selenium and cysteine. Now, as the brother said, there's actually over 500 naturally occurring amino acids. However, the body only needs 20. And within those 20, what we do have to understand is the essential group what they call the essential group is the ones that our body doesn't synthesize. They're not within our body. So we have to get the essential amino acids from our food sources. The non-essential ones are the ones that are within our body. So they're not regarded as essential because our body has them as a standard. Now, you actually have a set of amino acids between the two that is called conditional, which is required when the body is actually under stress or in dis-ease. So I just wanted to share that. And this is something that I say. We have to know food by its nature so we can better know how to nurture our temples with our food. So I really do appreciate what you just did there, brother, in relation to the acid and the alkaline. Acid forming and alkaline forming foods. Again, we have to understand that the processed foods, actually processed foods made in the lab, foods that are not naturally occurring from nature. So this could come down to sweets, foods that have been highly processed. So a sugar cane that's now brought out to white sugar is processed. Those foods have a different impact and effect on the body completely. And I always hear a lot of people talking about carbohydrates and starches not being good for you. But we're not talking, are you talking about plant-based carbohydrates and starches? And are you talking about it in its raw form? Because when we cook food, we change and we actually, what's the word I'm looking for? We impact the integrity of the enzymes. So we start to deplete the enzymatic health. And it's the enzymes within the food that actually are responsible for these chemical reactions. The acidic part or the alkaline forming part, it's the enzymes in the food. And not just the enzymes, but also coenzymes. So you, my brother, you spoke about tyrosine. And that chart what you put up was so beautiful. And seeing that tryptophan was on one of the aromatic amino acid lists just blew my brain again, because I love tryptophan. And not only that, if people were paying attention to the Krebs cycle, the citric acid cycle picture that was on the screen at the time, there were things like NAD, NADH around that cycle, ATP. I'm just going to focus on the NAD and the NADH. Now, tryptophan, an essential amino acid, one that's not in the body that you have to get from food. Within tryptophan, not only do you have an essential amino acid, but within the beetroot and in the tryptophan, this is the beetroot that I'm talking about, you actually get not just the tryptophan, the essential amino acid, you also get NAD, niacin first, which is vitamin B. By the time we go to question and answers, I'll check my notes and I'll have that for you. But that's one of your B complex vitamins. But not only do you get niacin, but within the body, that niacin, if you have an overconsumption of niacin, it breaks down to NAD and NADH, which the body stores, because that actually turns into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is a natural energy source for the body. And I know a lot of people might say, oh, it's natural stuff. Your body will store all natural things. It doesn't store all natural things, but there are some things that it just does because they're necessary for the body. So I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I don't like beetroot, or even Dr. Sebi said, don't eat beetroot. Maybe Dr. Sebi didn't know that beetroot had tryptophan in it. You see what I'm saying? An essential amino acid that also converts to niacin, which further breaks down to NAD. If you take too much beetroot, or you've got too much tryptophan present, it will convert into niacin, which then converts into NAD. So it stores it within the fats of the body. And again, you spoke about essential fats. So it's all connected. When we go to the plant kingdom, we really do a lot for our optimal health. So here, I've been asked to talk about the top 10 antiviral foods. And that's why I've literally come up with this statement. The people on Clubhouse that know me and follow me, they would have heard me say this a few times. We have to know food by its nature so we can better know how to nurture our temples with our food. So first and foremost, I'm going to break down the nature of antiviral and then talk about antiviral foods. So antiviral medications, yeah, when we talk about antiviral medications, they're medications that help the body fight off certain viruses that can cause dis-ease, yeah. They give us disease as one word, but it's actually two, dis-ease. The body is not in harmony, yeah. So antiviral then is designed to detect, remove, or offer protection against viruses. Two, it's also something that's effective against viruses. Now, before I read the next line, those two definitions, one related to software, one related to the human body. Can anybody tell me which one's which?
You might have to repeat the question again, bro.
So, antiviral foods, one, designed to detect, remove, or offer protection against viruses. Two, effective against viruses. One definition was for software, one was for the body. Can anybody tell me which one was for which? Did they have any idea? One was for the body. Thank you, Karen.
Two for the body, some people saying one for the body.
Okay, I got to swap between my screens to see. So thank you. So
I'll let you know what's in the chat, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So one was actually the software. Two was for the body. But I put them both here because in nature, that's what should happen in the body. And nature does that. Nature designs things that will detect, remove, or offer protection against viruses. Nature does that. So when we have antiviral pharmaceutical drugs, they actually don't destroy the viral pathogen. They only freeze its development within our body. So if you take a pharmaceutical drug, antiviral, it's not going to destroy the pathogen like how an antiviral within nature would actually detect, remove, because that's the destruction, is to remove something, or offer an added value of protection. Freezing something and making it dormant is not protection, because the time that it decides to rise again, you're going to be in ill health. So in relation to antiviral foods, they are there to boost our immune system, because that's the part of the body that's going to offer you protection. So what we have to understand about the immune system is that it's actually a collection of cells, and the brother spoke about cells. Beautiful. And let me just say, me and Leon, we didn't tag team our workshops today, you know. We did not tag team our workshops. He told me what he would like me to speak about, and I did my work and he did his work. So I really am smiling. The immune system is a collection of cells, various chemicals, proteins, and tissues that all work together to eliminate anything that it perceives as a threat to the body's well-being. Period, point blank. Virus or otherwise, which I'm just going to touch on this and we can get into that in question and answers, but the otherwise could stem to autoimmune disease, because if the body believes that there's things actually in the body, a part of your body, that are now a threat to the body because of the imbalance in the body, it's going to start to respond to those things, which now we have an autoimmune disease, because the body's attacking itself in various different types of ways. So with that collection of systems, the immune system, because it's not just one part, it's a collection of parts of your body and their systems. And we have independent systems in our body that actually work together. They have to work together as much as they're independent. They rely on each other doing their optimal job. So if one system is failing, another system has to work harder, has to compensate. So that immune system is intrinsically linked with something that's called our lymphatic system. We don't hear a lot about that, but these are the things that we are going to get into further down the road. So I spoke about polyphenols and polysaccharides in relation to the organic compounds. So our immune cells, they play a crucial role in the protection of our body against the many foreign substances, pathogens, and viruses that it comes into contact with every day. Now, foreign means alien to the body. So if we now have a disease that is attacking the body because it believes that something within the body that is naturally a part of the body is foreign to the body, and we have a great disease that we need to rebalance. And this is the chemistry. Our chemistry is out of whack. What they've actually begun to discover within the last few years is that the large intestine, and this is why people probably talk about leaky gut and colon issues, but your large intestine has actually now been recognized as your largest immune organ in the body. So that one organ does a lot of work in relation to your immune system, but it doesn't do it by itself. It's got the lymphatic system also. And if your lymphatic system is not moving, you will have a lot of dis-ease. Something I just wanted to throw in here, that vaginal birth and breastfeeding are actually linked to a lower occurrence of immune-related disorders. So later on in life, when people do develop some type of immune-related disorder, what they call autoimmune disease, that could simply actually stem from the fact that they might have come through a cesarean section, or even the parent themselves might develop an autoimmune disease because they didn't actually give a vaginal birth, and that cesarean section created a high imbalance in the body, the chemistry of the body. Because we are not doing a lot of things in the way that we should, in line with nature. Even now to breastfeeding again. And I've seen the benefit of that within my 3 boys. I've got 3 boys. The eldest is 16, the youngest is 6. The youngest breastfed until 3 coming on 4. The other 2 breastfed at least 2 years easily. And I would always look at their physical construction compared to children around their age at the time, from 2 to 5, and their physical ability, their cognitive prowess, and they could always basically keep up. They could hang with the best of them. Do you see what I'm saying? They're all very physically active and ordained, and their body structures as well. People always say, how your children look like that? What are you feeding them? And my 6-year-old is raw food. He's actually raw food. All vaginal births and all breastfed for a considerate amount of time. So what we have to understand when we get into these antiviral foods is that when we use food as our medicine, it does have a greater impact on the body's own ability to aid the removal of the threat, and then thus giving us more protection of our vital organs. So, top 10 antiviral foods. So, 1, vitamin C. And I put vitamin C over the food because you can find vitamin C in many foods. And that's what I've done with the top 10 antiviral foods. I might have told you a food, or I might have told you the benefit from the vitamin or the mineral, which has the antiviral effects. So vitamin C is actually a potent antioxidant and has antiviral effects. It's found in many foods: sweet potato, sweet peppers, sweet bell peppers, kale, broccoli, citrus fruits, berries, and more. Garlic. Now, garlic again is a wonderful food. And everyone that's taking notes, please take this recipe, mucus remover. Now, when I say mucus remover, it actually just realigns your mucus membrane, because we actually have a mucus membrane within the body. And when when phlegm is coming out of us, we call that mucus. We need to realign the mucus membrane. Now, garlic, unwaxed lemon, ginger, and red onion. Those 4 things in a juicer. You can do it in a blender, but you'll take longer to get the results. You can boil them, but you'll take longer to get the results. In a juicer, juiced, as a preventative measure, or at the point of actually having a cold, you will see the power of that juice. If you have a cold twice a day, maybe 3 times a day, it's gonna recalibrate your whole internal equilibrium immediately. And again, you get to understand when I break down the garlic here, it hinders viral attachments to the whole cell.
Sorry, brother. People are asking if you can quickly repeat. I'll type it in the chat. Repeat the ingredients. People are asking in the chat.
That's cool, my bro. So, garlic, 2 cloves. This for adult. Let me just make this clear quickly, though.
Yeah.
For adults, 2 cloves garlic.
Yeah.
Ginger. You know when you bend your thumb, that crease, that amount, at least. For a child, 1 clove and your thumbnail.
Okay.
Yeah. And add an apple for a child, but not for an adult. So I said lemon, unwaxed, because you want to juice the lemon with the skin, half the lemon at least.
Yeah.
And red onion, 1/4 to half of the red onion.
All right, nice one, bro.
That's cool, my bro.
Last 10 minutes, and then we're going to the Q&A.
Okay, cool. Let me speed this up then.
Yeah.
So the garlic, it hinders viral attachments to the whole cell. It alters the transcription and the translation of viral genomes in the whole cell. And it also affects the viral assembly, because virals, they gather, they assemble, do you see what I'm saying? And they multiply. So garlic stops all of that. And when we talk about alter transcription, we are talking about cellular communication. I'm going to start speeding up because I've got quite a bit that I wanted to add. So here again, red onions next. So quercetin and rutin, which is naturally occurring polyphenols, which I brought down before, and flavonoids with potent anti-inflammatory and immune-enhancing abilities. Ginger, it's actually a herb, yeah? So it's a mucolytic. So it assists with your mucous membrane. It enhances digestion, kills pathogens, and strengthens your immunity. Yeah, it's also an anti-inflammatory. Thyme as a herb, it's an antimicrobial. So it's great for your throat and it's great for upset stomachs as well. Cinnamon bark actually blocks viral replication by preventing the expression of a viral polymerase. So again, this is talking about cellular communication. It's stopping it expressing itself. So it stops it replicating because it doesn't allow it to express itself, which is the multiplication. It communicates to another cell, and that's how it replicates. It takes over that next cell. Cinnamon bark can put an end to those types of things. Chondrus crispus sea moss. Anyone that's heard us on Clubhouse, you know, Chondrus crispus sea, it's a sea vegetable. Not only it's a complete protein because it contains all your non-essential amino acids, all of your non-essential amino acids. So in that regard, it's a complete protein. Well, for us to get protein, we have to have all of the amino acids to be built upon that structure, because they link. And these are the things I'm going to get into as well. Berries, antibacterial, antiviral functioning. Berries have a host of minerals in them as well. And dark green leafy vegetables are high in minerals like zinc. And zinc is potent for us. Not only just potent, the zinc is actually, again, the minerals are our electrolytes. And these are the things we're going to get into. So let me just be clear with that. So when we just talked about the electrons fusing to atoms or passing through atoms, being attracted negative to positive, the electrons are our minerals. That's actually the electricity in food. And that's something, it looks like I'm going to have to sweep through this now. He said I've got 10 minutes, but electric food. So live food, electric food is something that's living food grown in nature. That's the first thing. When we're talking about electric food, it's live because it has the enzyme, which is going to create the chemical reactions or the coenzymes, because an enzyme needs a coenzyme to form a reaction. An enzyme doesn't react with an enzyme. They sit dormant. But when a coenzyme is present, which also tryptophan, NAD is a coenzyme. So, and there are 400 plus not coenzymes, there are 400 plus enzymes in your body waiting for the presence of NAD so they can operate. And you can find that easily in beetroot. So again, the chemical reactions are based on your enzymes, your coenzymes, your acids, sugars, starches, your carbs, and your fats. And I put here netta, that's all in nature. And for those who did the retreat course, you'll know what I'm talking about. So electric is dealing with impulses, charges, current, and light, which all equate to a source of pure energy, which is the fuel for the body. Now, when we're talking about electric, we have to understand that the brain is stimulated by sensory impulses, which in turn sends those same sensory impulses messages throughout the body. So the brain is stimulated by messages, and then it sends messages throughout the body, and mainly to the gut and heart, because these three main organs communicate with each other to maintain what we've been told is an alkaline environment in our body. But it's just efficiency, because well-being is actually efficiency. Ill health is deficiency. It's as simple as that. So I like the way that you like to keep things simple as well, my brother. And again, what I've just said, it relates to cellular or intracellular communication. Now, everything we're talking about relates to cellular or intracellular communication. Now, inter means between, but intra means within. So, and cellular means relating to living cells. And the living cells are also the building blocks of all life. So the food that we eat is communicating with inside of ourselves to produce more life. And that's what we have to understand. It's as simple as that. If we want to have good health, we consume food, and that food communicates with our cells. They jump for joy, and we feel the benefits of the energy. So yeah, I know I've got about 5 minutes. Let me move on. So let me just break down alkaline here as well, just as you just did what you did, bro. So alkaline is having the property of an alkali. And an alkali is a compound with particular chemical properties, which include, and this is why the brother gave you the alkaline chart, turning litmus blue. So if you see from neutral, after we actually begin to get into alkaline, the color goes to blue, to purple, and these are different shades of blue, the hue. That's, again, the alkaline process. Now, within the body, it's not just about turning litmus blue, or it's also about having a neutralizing or an effervescent with acids. So again, this is basic chemical reactions. But effervescent is about actually heating up. So that's about the metabolism. When we metabolize food, our body actually heats up through that process to metabolize the food. And effectively, when we're talking about alkaline, it is literally just the environmental state of the body that is efficiently operating at, and I like the 7.365, because that is the number, but I've just put here 7.35 to 7.45 pH. And we have instances of above, and actually that denotes a state where the body is effectively in something that they call homeostasis, which is the body's ability to maintain a dis-ease-free environment regardless of environmental factor changes. So in relation to having alkaline or having an alkaline body, this would be your body always operating at its most efficient, optimal capacity, with two opposing forces consistently operating interdependently. So the acid and the alkaline, when we're taking it from the right food, it's a yin and yang relationship within the body. And that chemistry is actually a harmony within the body if we're getting it from our plant food. This chemistry is what gives you life energy or depleted energy. Like the brother said, I can't remember what the question was you said, but it's either we're living or we're dying. And the in-between place is just a condition to move to one or the other, neutral. Are you going to go to the side of life or to the side of death? So again, just to relate about electric foods, this is where we all, our food, the chemistry is related to neural impulses. So, and I'll probably have got to wrap up. So when we breathe in, just to link this to electric food, the definition of breathing in, and this blew my mind when I did my fitness instruction course. They said, oh, the definition when you breathe in is called inspiration. So when we breathe in, we inspire air within ourselves, and that creates a chemical reaction. Now, let me just relate this to being inspired by somebody. When you are inspired by something or someone, you feel like you have a new breath of life. You feel energized. You have a get up and go about you. And then when that is expired, it's dead. Expiration is depletion. It means that energy is waning or going down, or it's completely lost. But we must understand that energy is never lost, it's only transformed. So for those that are watching, I'm just going to give you a quick coded message. And I know you wanted to talk about foods for melanin, my bro, but I hope everybody's watching their screen as they see this. For those on Clubhouse, apologies that you can't get to see this.
There will be a replay link, so everyone can get a
cool. Yeah. We'll make sure that I can get that so I can share that with the family on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Anyone who was at the retreat has an idea of what's going on here. This is just coding, foods for melanin. Just pull me up when you're ready, bro, as well. But foods for melanin, literally, when we talk about foods for melanin, we can really just get off on this one, because in my research of foods, on my journey, I literally just thought, let me study the food that I'm going to be putting into my mouth. And I really got to realize, like, hold on, food has pigmentation, but hold on, my melanin is pigmentation. So the food has melanin, it just started to blow my mind. What you saying to me, bro?
You hear that, family? That's the easiest thing to understand. Food
it's
has
the easiest,
and your skin has pigmentation. So what food should you be eating? Foods that have pigmentation. That's your fruits and vegetables. They are pigmented. They have the colors of the rainbow, because that's how the chlorophyll or whatever pigment they have inside of it is absorbing and reflecting light. Same thing your melanin is doing. Your melanin is actually absorbing all light, though. That's the difference.
Light absorption, and that's the key. And that same pigmented food, when we talk about, if we just relate to vitamin D, And I really like what we did with the melanin, the fail melanin. I really love what we did with that because, again, as much as you said that black and brown, we're either melanated or melanin deficient. And deficient doesn't mean exempt. It just means lacking. Do you see what I'm saying? It means less of. It doesn't mean non-existent. Do you see what I'm saying? So that food is grown by what? Sunlight, earth, and water. The same things that brought us into being. Do you see what I'm saying? And actually nurture and feed us on a daily. Sunlight. We talk about sunlight for vitamin D synthesis, even though we can get vitamin D from our food. The actual synthesis, yes, your skin does synthesize vitamin D through sunlight absorption. However, the actual creation of vitamin D happens within your kidney. That's what a lot of people don't know and don't tell you. So you can actually get your vitamin D if you're consuming the food that is actually grown from the sunlight. You see what I'm saying? So when we talk about foods for melanin, we're talking about carbon-coded food. It's really as simple as that. And there is a lot that we can go off on. So
a lot of questions coming in. We'll go on to the questions.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Because I know you wanted to. Did everybody see that? I know you wanted to go into what you wanted to show them for the next stage. You know. Yeah.
But before we go on to that, family, just put some ones in the chat, man. Let's just show our appreciation. Raw Food Disciple, Danayo. People saying they learned so much just from that small, very short presentation. We're going to go into a Q&A now. I know people had questions, so large at the people putting ones in the chat.
What? The ones are going mad.
Yeah, showing the love. But we're going to go into a Q&A now. I do see some questions in the Q&A section. Again, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand. I'm going to try and go through some of these in the Q&A section. So Karen asked, is there a specific start the day with or finish the day with acid or alkaline, or is it just to balance throughout the day?
So again, as I think you should have got from both of us today, the balance is the harmony in the chemistry. So the food that you're consuming, raw food, is going to create the best harmony within the body. So the start of the day should be with raw food, and to end the day should be with raw food. Whether that's a salad, a juice, a smoothie, do you see what I'm saying? It's going to be easy on your digestive system.
Yeah. And also when it comes to lemons and that sort of stuff, a lot of people start with lemon water.
Lemon water, yeah.
Acid in the morning, family. Acid in the morning. What we need to understand with fruits, the acids in fruits is they are good for cleansing. Alkaline in vegetables or alkaline is good for building. So if you're thinking about your blood, if you want to cleanse the blood, go with fruits. If you want to build the blood, go with vegetables, because the vegetables are going to be dark green leafy vegetables, hopefully. So you're getting a lot of chlorophyll. That's going to build the blood. If you want to cleanse the blood, something going on in your blood, parasites, viruses, this, that, and the other going on in your system, cleanse it. You need acids. Acids do the cleansing. That's the reason why people say that, apple cider vinegar is good for you. The apple cider vinegar is only good for you if you're trying to cleanse something out of your system. Other than that, apple cider vinegar is extremely acidic. You know how acidic it is? That's why they say, because I saw someone mention GMO and fruits and nuts, vegetables and just produce and that. That's why they say you should use apple cider vinegar to wash your fruits and vegetables, because it's going to get off all the parasites and the pesticides and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Pesticides, the herbicides and those things.
All of that stuff. Yeah. All right, we've got some questions. Lydia, if you can find your mic. If not Lydia, then Nina. If not Nina, then Margaret. So whoever can find their mic first, let me see if someone can find the mic. Margaret.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Grand Rising. I was speaking to my daughter and I was telling her that I was going to give her some sea moss to help build up her her immune system. And she said that she read a research saying that sea moss was bad for you. But I told her it might be different types of sea moss. Does any one of the hosts have any sort of like thing to add to that?
Yeah. So I'm on Clubhouse now doing a live stream of this room. And when I went onto Clubhouse, I met a wonderful herbalist by the name of Nata Jack, who is actually a major sea moss supplier. Now, in my 12 years of being raw food, I've not just been raw food. I juice and blend everything. I juice and blend everything. I did 6 years just liquid, straight. So there's things that I didn't do. I didn't do herbs. I didn't do sea moss. I was just finding my path, my journey. You see what I'm saying? Now, when I came across sea moss about 5 years ago, I just thought this is a bag of rubbish, because it didn't. Like, my friend told me how to make it up, how to gel it up and all of that. Put it in my smoothies, and I phoned her back like, yo, why can't I fit this together? Because I don't feel no benefits. Like, my body, when I take in things, like I drank gold one time, I felt the liquid of my drink go down my body, and I felt the gold come up into my head and lick my pineal wide open, spreading my third eye clean. Like I feel the impact of food in my body, especially if it's something new to me. So at that time, the sea moss was rubbish, so I just writ it off. Fast forward to last year, I got into Clubhouse. As I said, I met this master herbalist. He's a #1 sea moss pusher, yeah, and she breaks it down. I've learned so much now. I also sell sea moss. I get from her. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Her sea moss, when I took that sea moss into my body, the way in which the energy felt, I'm going to break down the different types of the sea moss as well, because I've learned so much from her, because I was just ignorant. And sometimes my ignorance helped me to get where I got to. But now I know some more. So you've got Chondrus crispus sea moss, you've got Gracilaria, which is what Nata calls it, is the ramen noodles looking type, yeah? You've got the noodles looking type of sea moss, and then you've got the Chondrus crispus. Hold on a second.
Well, let me see if there's any other questions we can get through whilst you're going. All right, the antiviral list, brother, if you can go through that.
No, you know what it is? It's because I've got the bag here, innit? If I can just show you, if you can see it a bit, then you can see it doesn't really, if I can hold this to the camera, it doesn't really look like the noodles type. It's kind of leafy. And this is what they call Chondrus crispus. Dried golden one. It does come red, green in that regard, but this one's left out in the sun and dried. So this one that I get from Nata also, she's got the tested certificate. It's got the minerals. It's got the mineral wealth, where the Gracilaria doesn't have all of the 90 odd minerals out of the 100 that they say. So there's a lot of people just pushing sea moss without actually knowing the benefits of the sea moss, or what sea moss it is that they're using. So yeah, if it's the Gracilaria type, it's no good. If it's the Chondrus crispus type, and again, also, the Chondrus crispus, we have to understand, when we talk about sea moss, always when I was a child, people always said Irish moss, Irish moss. No disrespect to our islands, I'm hearing now Irish moss in Jamaica, but where's the island in Jamaica? I don't get that. Island is where Irish moss comes from, and it comes from there because it comes from the sea, and it's grown on the seabed, the rocks on the floor, and that's where the minerals are, because the rock is actually a mineral. So the rock actually transports its minerals to the sea vegetable that's growing within it. When the tide goes back, that's when you're able to now salvage the minerals, because the tide's gone back, so you can walk along the seabed and gather the Chondrus crispus. That's how you gather seaweed, basically. Yeah. Now, this is the whole point. The sea moss that is grown in the islands is grown on ships. It's not grown on the seabed. It's grown on the ropes. They put the ropes out. They put the ships out to sea, They anchor them off the port and they leave the ropes out. And they harvest sea moss off of the ropes, not off of the seabed. So we definitely have to understand the benefits of our sea moss and where we're getting it from, how it's being farmed in that regard.
We actually done a webinar last year called The Secret Science of Sea Moss, and I think my sister's going to post it. Free webinar, you guys can check it out from last year. We broke down sea moss. We've done all this stuff. So you got the people that follow the Hidden Science Academy, you know about this information. So we've done it already. We've covered all of that. So my sister's going to post that link in the chat so you guys can check it out.
Love that.
Check it out last year. People were asking about Natterjack's details, but I see that got posted. What else? What other questions were there? This question.
No, that's not the right details still. I'll post the details. Yeah, I'll post that. That was some of these
questions. With regards to raw food and juicing, once the food has been removed from its source, what is the optimum time to use? My understanding is ASAP, so local and homegrown is best, but not always practiced. Yeah, so just like you said, soon as it's removed, you want to be consuming that. So like you said, local or homegrown is best. And for those of you who have done the Hidden Science Academy Black Holistic Health course, you know we talk about the obesogenic environment. So we live in an obesogenic environment. We need to understand that even if you are eating fruits and vegetables, they are doing a lot of stuff to the seeds. They're doing a lot of stuff to the fruits and the vegetables. So we need to be aware of that. A lot of it is sprayed. Even if you're getting quote unquote organic, unless you're growing it yourself, you don't really know what you're eating. Yeah. So that we can in this environment that we're living in. All right, let's see if we can get through these because we want to finish up. I want to show the family. Before we finish up, would it be okay for us to go through what we've got coming up, family? Just put a yes in the chat if that would be okay. I see Lydia, you raised your hand. Okay, I've allowed you to talk. People put in yeses. Yes, thank you, family, just to let me know. We want to tell you what we've got coming up before we finish. So Lydia, if you want to ask a question, find your mic and you can ask it right now. If not, we're going to move on. All right, thank you for the feedback, family, saying yes to that. All right, if you can do it very quickly, bro, just go through the top 10 antiviral foods again. Someone's asking that in the chat. Just bullet point it, just 1 to 10. Top 10.
Where was we? Garlic.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, yeah?
Yep.
Hold on, let me pull up that page quickly. Garlic, lemon, so citrus fruits, berries.
Citrus fruits, berries.
Yeah, berries, garlic, red onion, ginger, sorry.
Red onion.
Thyme.
Ginger. Thyme.
Cinnamon bark.
Cinnamon bark, yeah.
Dark leafy greens.
Dark leafy greens, yeah.
And I said Condrus crispus sea moss.
Condrus crispus. There you have it, family. Top 10 antiviral foods. Very, very powerful stuff.
The botanical name is called carrageen sea moss as well, just so people actually get that correct. Carrageen, yeah.
The question here in the Q&A says, I'm confused, which sea moss is good for you? Go and watch the Secret Science of sea moss. Break it all down in that, yeah? Can you give us the contact details for the sea moss supply? And brother, if you can go through these, because I'm gonna tell everyone what we've got coming up now. Any of these questions that you can answer, you can just type in the answer to answer them, yeah?
So I just go into the Q&A thing, yeah?
Into the Q&A, and then you can just type in the answer, and then it will remove the question from the Q&A as well.
All right, cool.
All right, family. I don't see no more hands raised, so I'm gonna assume that's it for the Q&A. If you do have another question now, okay, Chris, I see Chris has raised your hand. And Dr. Amsu, is that the real Dr. Amsu? Is that? Let's see, Chris.
Hi, fam. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Chris. Greetings.
Greetings. I just wanted to just say like all the ingredients you just gave, like the citrus fruits, the berry, the garlic, the red onions, the ginger, and the thyme. I was thinking maybe you can puree everything, and then ferment them, like make a puree and just create like a kind of fermentation drink with that. with a little bit of Himalayan salt. What's happening is like, you see, when you, for example, just puree the red onions and the garlic, for example, these two things, can be difficult to digest. So the fact that you ferment everything, all the ingredients you give, like all the alkaline food you give, you puree everything and you ferment it, so you ferment it like in a jar for like, let's say a week or two, so what you do is like you build some lactic acid inside, and you just basically grow some friendly bacteria, which will then eat all the hard fibers, which are difficult to absorb. And then what's happening is like you are able to actually get all the polyphenols, all the vitamins and minerals from all these ingredients, and just basically boost your immune system, basically.
That is such good information. Thank you for that, brother. So I hope everyone got that. Puree, the ingredients that the Raw Food Disciple has shared with us tonight. If you puree them, and it will be easy on your digestive system. And the brother Chris said to ferment them as well. So with red onion, leave it cut it up and then leave it for a couple of weeks, let it ferment. It will be more powerful, more antiviral and that sort of stuff. So that's good information. Now this says Dr. Amsu. Is that the Dr. Amsu? Let's see. Brother, if you can unmute your mic.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, my bro. Is that Dr. Amsu? Do people know?
Yes, walk on. You good?
Yes, brother. What's good, fam?
Yeah. My sister Ruth is on here. She told me about this yesterday. She was like, you need to come into Hidden Science and listen to what these young brothers are how they're building and everything. So I was like, yeah, I've been meaning to get on it, So I big commendation to you and the other brother. I'm loving it. I'm glad that that the information is being expressed in a language for younger people. I like that you guys are raw with your accent. Love it.
For those who don't know, like I've been running the Blacklistic Health course from 2017, and in 2017 when I was running it in Croydon, I always showed a clip from the Breakfast Club of these two British doctors who bust up the Breakfast Club. Those who follow the Hidden Science Academy, you know what clip I'm talking about. They were on there with a cyst, and they were talking about fibroids and black women and that sort of stuff. And I showed the class that clip of them on the Breakfast Club, and everyone's like, "Wow, that's some powerful information." And I'm like, "Yeah, these guys are from the UK." And then your sister Ruth was in the class, and she's like, "That's my brother." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, that's my brother." I was like, "Wow, this is crazy." So yeah, big up, brother. I'm so glad you tuned in, man.
Yeah, so there's some things. I'm here with my business partner, Mikey.
Mikey.
Mikey from the ends, Mikey Bricks. Say well, go on. Hey, what's up? How's it going, man? Yes. So we have some very big things coming up in the near future. We have our non-profit, which we're doing a global movement. Great Black Detox is one of them, where we're getting Black people back into the habit of detoxification and fasting and that, because these practices have somewhat become religious and synonymous with spirituality, and it's like, you know what, you ain't gonna have good spirituality if you don't have good health. In fact, spirituality is health. Spirituality is health. Good mental health, good physiological health. So we have our non-profit is called Electric Health, and we're actually building out our website, electrichealth.org. But with Great Black Detox, that's a global, it's global. And so we want to collaborate with as many energetic, teachers of this information. So I do want to include you in what we're doing, especially for the UK.
Oh, most definitely, brother. I feel that this is long overdue. from 2017, your sister's been saying, yeah, man, we need to link up and that sort of stuff. So, you know,
Right.
So I'm just so happy that you've joined us tonight. If you can put your details in the chat, a lot of people want to know about, the great detox and all that stuff that you do. A lot of great stuff that they're doing overseas, family. Go and support them. The Great Black Detox, very powerful stuff. So glad you was able to join us tonight, family. And big up all the people in the chat.
Yeah, we're driving, so man's trying to finagle what's going on right now.
Okay, don't be typing and driving, bro.
But my sister Ruth can do that. She works for free for me, so Ruthie, sort it out.
Sort it out. All right, then, family. Large up the doctor. Everyone put some ones in the chat.
Yes.
For Dr. Amsi joining us. Big up, bro. We're definitely.
All right, big up.
All right. Okay, we're gonna take one more question. Marianne, if you can find your mic, sis, then you can ask your question. Marianne.
Two brands who can help turn her fashion business into the next big.
Marianne? No, okay, all right, family. Let's wrap it up. Okay, so to finish up, family, I just want to show you what we've got coming up and how you guys can get involved, yeah? So if I just share my screen. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this properly. Let me see. All right, so if you guys are on Instagram, I'm on Instagram at The Scientist Online, so you guys can come follow me at The Scientist Online. And you can follow the Hidden Science Academy as well. My team are online as well. The Hidden Science Academy, that's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of that stuff, yeah? All right, so this is what we've got coming up, family. Myself and the Raw Food Disciple, Daniel, we're doing a course, a nutrition course, the Hidden Science of Nutrition. So if you love this information, we've actually got a course coming up next month. Thursday, the 10th of February at 7 p.m. It's going to be a 5-week course, very powerful course. If you go to the hiddenscienceacademy.com, my sister will post a link to this. And for VIP members, because we do have a VIP membership, VIP members, obviously you get the course for free. If you'd like to become a VIP member, this year we've made it very, very affordable for people to become VIP members. It literally costs the same amount to be a VIP member that like it does to subscribe to Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that. So it's very, very affordable. We've got this. We've also got a mindfulness course coming up as well. A mindfulness course coming up next week, next month as well. Very powerful course. This is a 5-week course as well. Again, if you're a VIP member, you get the course for free. If you're not, you can just pay for the course outright, or you can become a VIP member. But this is what we've got coming up, family. We've even got a healing herbs course. This is coming up in April. So first of all, February, we're going to take you through a nutrition course, then a meditation course, and then we're going to take you through a healing herbs course. Again, if you're a VIP member, you get this course for free. Very powerful course coming up. And again, if you just want to pay for the course, you can pay for it outright. And then we've got this coming up, family, the Wellness Weekender. This is the second one. That we done the first one last year, and it was in Watford. And there's some people that are watching right now that came to it. It was such an unbelievable experience. It was a mental health 3-day package. We was talking about how to prepare the mind for success, how to, strengthen the subconscious mind, mental health practices and all this sort of stuff, mindfulness, stillness. And this year, the first one is going to be at the Holiday Inn in Shepperton. Now, if you're in our WhatsApp groups, or you're a VIP member, or you're part of our mailing list, you'll be notified when the tickets go on sale for this. So the tickets are not available yet, but as soon as the tickets go on sale, you'll be notified. If you're a VIP member, you'll be notified first, because here's what's going to happen. As soon as the tickets go on sale for this, it's going to sell out in that first day. Look at the Shepperton Hotel. So this is where we're going to be in April, family. We're going to be at the Holiday Inn, and just look at the rooms. This is where we're going to be staying.
That's better than last time.
It's better than last time, family.
Just from the first picture, bro. You know, like
what? Look at the room, bro. Look at the room. We're gonna have a swimming pool, sauna, steam room, and literally, because there's gonna be so many of us, we'll literally have this to ourselves. So it's just gonna be us in there, yeah. And we're gonna do a dinner on the Saturday. We're gonna do a dinner. You got to dress up, yeah. It's gonna be a 3-course dinner. Like, we're gonna have DJs. We're gonna have a party. Oh, listen, this is going to be a very powerful weekender. And again, VIP members get it for free. We've also got courses coming up. We've got a white supremacy course coming up. Big up the people that done my white supremacy course last year. They loved it. They're seeing everything that I mentioned in the white supremacy course. You're kind of seeing it in society now, especially with the quote unquote virus. But yeah, we're going to go through that again. The hidden science of white supremacy. This is another course. Again, this is the value that you get for being a VIP member. You don't want to miss this course, family. A lot of people are like, wow. To be fair, I don't know. I might share a free lecture from this course just so people get a little, just a little sample of what we're going to be doing on this course. I'll share a free lecture. I'm going to share it with everyone who's registered for this event, yeah? But that's the white supremacy course. Again, all of this you get if you just become a member of the Hidden Science Academy. You can sign up monthly or yearly. And we've got a plant-based meal prep course coming up in June. Plant-based meal prep course. So we're literally taking you through nutrition, healing herbs, meditation, and white supremacy, and even a plant-based meal prep course. This is where the tutors will show you how to create these healthy meals in the comfort of your own home using kitchen ingredients. Yeah, you don't want to miss this. This is part of it as well. Again, to sign up, my sister will post the link to sign up to the nutrition course. But if you become a member, you get all of this for free, all of it. And near the end of the year, we're doing the hidden science of pain. And big up the people who have done this course before, but if you're new to the Hidden Science Academy, we do a course and we've got 2 professional physiotherapists who will show you how to relieve pain in your body in the comfort of your own home using nothing but your own hands or a foam roller or massage balls. This is revolutionary stuff that we're doing on the Hidden Science Academy. People asking about prices. This is exactly the same as Netflix. So just think about Netflix. If you want to sign up, just go to the hiddenscienceacademy.com and you can become a member. Very, very affordable this year. It wasn't affordable last year because we had it at premium prices, but the people that have paid for the premium price last year, you get huge discounts on our weekenders. And when I say huge, I mean huge. And we've got retreats coming up as well. So we're making sure that we cater for all of our members. We've lowered the price this year, but the people who paid last year, you're going to get benefits for what you paid for. Retreats, weekenders, getaways. You guys are going to be looking at the discounts you're getting and thinking, wow. All right, I've come to the end and I've got my big announcement to make, yeah? So I want to make a big announcement. Actually, before I make the big announcement, there's another thing that you get being a part of the Hidden Science Academy. You get to come to our events, and this is very new, by the way. You get to come to our events for free. If you are a Hidden Science Academy VIP member, you get to come to the events for free. If you're a VIP member, you get to come to events like these. So this is what our events look like, family. This was the last event. This was back in September, and it was in Birmingham. And just look how many people. This is how we do our events. If you're a Hidden Science Academy member, you get to come to any of our events, not weekenders, but any of our events for free. That's how we're treating our VIP members, right? You just go to the hiddenscienceacademy.com. My sister will post the link to the nutrition course if you want to sign up to that, or you just click on membership and you go to the hiddenscienceacademy.com. So yeah, free access to our events as well. But here's the big announcement. I've come right to the end, and I just big up the people who have stayed, all the people who have stayed right to the end. But here is my big announcement. What is the big announcement? Everyone's like, what is the big announcement? All right, are you ready? The big announcement is Now, for those who are not aware, I've been writing a book. I have been writing a book, a melanin book. I started it last year and it's now finished, yeah? So the big announcement, family, is you can now pre-order my book. You can now pre-order The Hidden Science of Melanin, which will be released in March, but you guys will get it before it goes on Amazon. So we're going to put it on Amazon in March. The pre-order is available right now. You go to thehiddenscienceacademy.com and you can start pre-ordering the book. When I say this book is a game changer, oh my goodness, this book is a game changer. People who know me, you know the information in this book is mind-blowing, yeah? This book is a game changer. If you pre-order now, you will get it probably end of February or beginning of March, but you'll get it before we put it on Amazon. And by the way, when we put it on Amazon, it's such a powerful book. It's going to be $33.99, but that's not the pre-order price. So if you want to get it now, you can pre-order it at a pre-order price of $19.99. This book has got over 50 color illustrations in it. 50. You've never seen a book like this. Pick up any melanin book, it's just going to be text, 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 and probably a couple diagrams, but no color illustrations. Now we now understand the importance of melanin and color and pigment. We need to see color. And plus, I want your children reading this book as well. So listen, even when your children start flicking through this book, they are going to be blown away. The Hidden Science of Melanin, you can now pre-order it. Go to thehiddenscienceacademy.com and you can get the book and you will get it before everyone else. And then you can bring the book to the events and get it signed, because we've got quite a few events coming up this year as well. By the way, family, I do the Marshall's Melanin podcast, which is my podcast, so you guys can sign up to that. I do it the first of each and every month, so the next one's going to be next week, because it's the 1st of February next week. So make sure that you guys are tuned into that. That's going to be a powerful podcast. Yeah. And by the way, again, if you want to follow me on Instagram, come and follow me at The Scientist Online. That is at The Scientist Online. Please put the pre-order link. If you go to thehiddenscienceacademy.com, thehiddenscienceacademy.com, and just click on the pre-order. There's a banner, click on the pre-order banner. Or if my sister can just post it in the chat now, go to thehiddenscienceacademy.com and you can do that. But yeah, for the people who are waiting for us to make the announcements with regards to the weekender, make sure you're in our WhatsApp groups. So my sister's been posting the WhatsApp group links. So make sure you're part of our WhatsApp group so you know when we drop that link for the Wellness Weekender, you're part of that. Last year we had a limit because it sold out so quickly. We only had a limited number of rooms. This year we don't. Well, we still do, but it's more than we had last year. So make sure you're part of our WhatsApp groups. Thank you for the people saying congratulations on your book. I cannot wait for you guys to read this. Even if you're in the US, you can sign up and register. People asking about the VIP membership. Yep. Even in the US, you'll still get the benefits of being a VIP member, because we are looking to come to the US very soon. So if we come to the US, you're a VIP member, you get to walk through our events. Plus, if you go to thehiddenscienceacademy.com, you'll see all of the courses that we do. You get all of that for free. So there's benefits for anyone everywhere in the world, yeah? All right, family. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We have come to the end. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Now, remember, if you want to sign up to the courses are going to be very, very powerful. We've got courses all throughout the year for the family, so it might be better and it will work out cheaper if you join up for the year to the Hidden Science Academy, or you can join monthly. Again, we've made it very affordable this year because people were complaining last year saying it was too expensive. We've made it very affordable this year. It's like you're signing up to Netflix. So the same amount of money you'd pay to sign up to Netflix or Amazon Prime, you can sign up to the Hidden Science Academy and get all of those courses for free, plus free access to our events, plus discounts on our weekenders and that sort of stuff. So thank you, everyone, for joining. I know there's still questions, but we don't want this to be too long. If you want that real powerful information, you want to join us on these courses. So the first course is the nutrition one. which the Raw Food Disciple is going to be teaching. I'm going to be a student on that one. So large up all the people that joined us tonight. People still asking for the book link. All right, let me just quickly go get the book link. People asking for the book link. Let me give them the book link straight, so they have no issues getting the pre-order. And we've only got a limited number of pre-orders, family. So